What's up, everybody? Drop that intro, Genie D's.
Oh my God! Hey, I'm shooting you.
Anybody even listen?
Okay, Genie, put 30 minutes on the clock.
Hey. Genie D's, what's up, brother?
What's up?
Welcome back to Understand This. This is the podcast. Finesse Mitchell is on your right. Genie D's is on your left.
Blur.
We back. One more time, I got a special treat for you. This is my next door neighbor, my brother. We got the same birthday. That's crazy. We live next to each other. We got the same birthday. It is Joe Breezy Brown, everybody. What up, Breezy?
What's up, Finesse Mitchell? Down in the A, where you from?
Hey, this is dirty South, people. This is Southwest Atlanta at its finest. I'm Doug High School. He is Benjamin E. Mays. If you know, then you know. Man,
Yes, sir.
What's going on with you? Just tell me something uplifting real quick in about a minute that my people would be like, I'm so glad I heard from that young man.
So let me say this. My man right here started in Atlanta, Uptown Comedy Corner, and I laughed just to see him up on the stage. But I ain't laughing no more, man, because he meet everybody that you want to meet. It's my brother. He's doing it. I'm proud of him. We both doing it in our own way. But I tell you what, it all started from good parents, good friendships, and hard work. You don't get nowhere without putting some work in. That's Ray Lewis said, you can't beat effort. You cannot beat effort. So if you ain't putting no effort in, you're not gonna get that. But yeah, I'm proud of you, my man, and I'm gonna get you. We gonna talk on a sidebar. We gonna have to do a sidebar.
That's my main man, Joe Breezy. Love you. I'm proud of you. Hey man, I'm gonna hit you back so we can finish this show. But I definitely wanted to give you a shout out, and people, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and tell all your friends that, hey, Finesse Mitchell just might reach out to you and put you on the podcast, so you never know when you're going to be on the show. All right, man, I'll hit you back later, brother.
Out one time, bye.
All right, bye. Hey, that is my neighbor, people. I love that brother to death. Let me tell you something. Everything he said was true. Effort. He saw me, Genie, get booed in Uptown Comedy Corner.
No.
He was he was there, and I just had a bad set. And it wasn't a boo, but it was early in my game. Uptown Comedy Corner, early in my game.
Was this like a difficult place or no?
It was already in my head a little bit, you know. And some days you go in with no preconceived jitters. You know nothing. You just go in there and you rip it. Looking at what I do on stage now, I'm like, I was not ripping it back then. But back then in my mind, I had a great set. And there was a guy. Well, sometimes there's some comics that just don't make you feel
like you're in their rank.
Yeah, there's a vibe to certain people that it affects your mental, and you and you as a comic have to get over that. It's not them. Let them be them. The old me would have been like, they haters. You know what? No. Do you and do what you need to do, because that should, no matter what you do, that should not affect me or what I'm about to do on this stage.
I still got to go up there and have
it. So that took me a little time to learn in the game. Comics and performers and musicians and artists, period. Simone Biles.
Absolutely.
Simone Biles. No matter how dope you are, no matter how many gold medals you won, there is a point in your brain where something switches off and you're like, it's like a cigarette lighter.
What happened?
I hear the fluid, and that's not the right time to sometimes. Sometimes it's better to not go up and take an L. You can't really learn that much from an L other than how to take an L. Sometimes you just say, you know what, maybe I'm just here for the drive down. I'm just going to watch. But that time I had went up and it didn't go that well, and another comic had let me know, and the rest of the crowd know that didn't go well.
Ooh, afterwards?
And
that's like a stab in the face.
I know. And at the time, I was just like, fuck. But it makes you hungrier. It makes you say, that'll never happen again. Because it ain't like you can go back on stage and grab the mic. So, but he was there. And he always says, hey, man, remember that time in Uptown that one comedian said XYZ? And look at you now. And look at them. They still there. You know what I mean? That it was that. Because he's a fan. Because he's like a friend, a fan. He's in the audience. But they don't make a observation from I'm in the business. There's really nothing wrong with what he did. And maybe he don't want to go nowhere. Maybe he want to stay in Atlanta. Maybe he, you know what I mean? That's fine. I don't look at it. But your friends will be like, remember that dude? Man, fuck that dude.
Yeah, that's that third person objective perspective. Yeah.
And so, and you started early, and it just goes when people, like I said, shout out to Joe Brown, when people love you, care about you. You know, to this day, he tells me this story like I've never heard this story. Because he's always saying, I'm so
How
proud
old were
of
you at the time?
Oh, bro, I was early in comedy. Well, I was old in comedy, but early in the game. So I was probably like 27-ish.
Wow, 27. Wow.
28, you know.
And what age did you feel like, you kind of shed
31.
that? So a few years, 3 or 4 years.
Few years later. But then, honestly, I've been in the game over 20 years. Probably after COVID, literally after COVID, which was a year ago, I said to myself, oh, I'm a Jedi. And I said it before, but after COVID, 20-something years later, I realized if I go up there and take an L, it's because I wanted to. Because now I can make funny talking about you to you. And you won't even be like, he talking about me. He'll be like, you know, it won't even come from a place.
I've seen it. No, yeah.
Because some people don't even know how to do that skill without making a person be like, this motherfucker. No. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's a very refined skill. And there's like this feeling of it's created right now with me in this moment. This is historic, you know?
Stand up comedy, people. It's so similar to every other business, to every other, no matter what you do. Like, Genie is the dope producer, and he's also the birthday boy. Give it up for the birthday boy.
Cheers.
Oh, my goodness.
I do feel older. Cheers to that, though.
He looked like a light-skinned Frederick Douglass today. He over here looking now like
national icon.
He over here looking like Cornel West without the blazer. But
speaking of Cornel West, I just recently realized that I think I'm a pragmatist, and Cornel West is a pragmatist. So I, appreciate the accolade.
Man, you know what? I actually bought his book, Democracy Now! Or Democracy Matters.
You know what?
Democracy Matters.
I'm gonna buy that next. I bought The American Evasion of Philosophy. Anyway, thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
No, I feel it in my back. We was out there playing Frisbee at the park, and the next day my back was gone. And then I was like, I need to get in shape. 32, you need to be at the gym and doing something.
Oh, 32 people. Who wouldn't want to be 32? I was complaining about 32, but now, 32's 30. It sound like it smell like warm chocolate chip coming out the oven. You didn't even see it come out the oven. You in another room, you going, who making cookies?
Oh, no.
That's what 32 sounds.
Oh, no.
That's what it sounds like. If I could be 32. You know what?
Oh man.
But I will say this about myself. I never got the abs I wanted, no matter what age I was at. I think I was like maybe in college when I saw a picture of me in college on the football team at the University of Miami. I was like, that's a monster.
Research, find it, please.
I was like, that's a monster.
You had abs.
I literally, I was.
You got to do so much to keep abs.
Yeah.
Were you eating strict or what?
It's all diet.
It's too much work.
You know what? Well, I was still in skinny mode. So just working out and eating the way that they kind of have you eating, but working out and running every day in that hot ass sun.
Right.
It was just like, all right, well, at least I'm fine.
At least that.
At least after this is all over and I never do this shit ever again in life.
So you had all 4 abs.
Bro, I had at least
Avenger abs.
I had at least a strong 4. And then like you see that you see that
superhero part.
Man, it was yeah.
That's too in shape. I don't think I'll ever be that in shape.
It's too much.
You're very in shape.
But the discipline to not eat comfort food, it just is so powerful to not care in the moment. You're going to go into the drive-thru at 1 a.m. and get a Wendy's
All
combo.
things in moderation, even moderation.
You're going to raid the pantry sometimes. You're going to eat that bowl of cereal at the end of the night. There's certain things where you're like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Should I be eating this late? And you probably shouldn't. If you go to sleep, just go to sleep. But we get up and we eat ice cream, cereal.
I'm embarrassed to say I did that the other day.
Donuts, chips. Like, I never thought about snacks unless you bring them in the house. If you bring them in the house, you're doing it to yourself. You're putting Pookie back inside the Carter. He's not ready.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. What's the matter, remember G-Money? What's the matter with you? You high? He's high. No, man, I ain't high. Oh, baby. You got skimmed milk in those titties. You know. So, yeah.
It's an exact replica.
Take him outside and do him. Scotty, help me. I'm going to die. Oh, you 5-0? You 5-0?
Side by side, it's perfect.
Blow the building. Then you got Nino Brown. He came through with the little dog chain, and he was jump roping with it. Rock Rollers came in the room. Everybody sitting at the big table. Put his arm around him.
You got a good memory.
How'd they get in, G? How'd they infiltrate? So don't nobody know nothing. A $2 million a week business reduced to rubbles and nobody know nothing. It was Christopher. I don't know his name in the movie. Christopher Williams. He the one brought the dude to my attention. Okay. Hey, Nino, he let me sit your $5 ass down before I make change. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That was called acting.
That
That
was a little acting for you.
finesse. I was just doing the.
You probably could do whole scenes at a time. Did you do that like as a kid?
I
Reenacting
still do
stuff?
it to the now. I still do it to the now. I still do it now. I still watch TV and
try to reenact it.
reenact, and nobody will watch TV with me. Nobody. Even the 2-year-old is like, shut up.
Oh, wow.
Daddy, you're talking. No talking while it's talking. You're talking while it's talking. No talking.
Oh, no. So that's what I have to look forward to.
Oh, man. Little girls. Did I tell you they call me Diddums?
You did.
They call me Diddums, bro.
That's the funniest script ever.
It hasn't gone away. My girls call me Diddums. And the baby be like, yeah, Diddums. But L really be on some Diddums, you know.
Is that more of...
Quit talking Diddums.
Oh, no. See, are you angry or do you feel betrayed?
I just feel like disrespected because I ain't even know. Call me Tony. Call me Ralph. Call me something. Don't call me Diddums. That sounds servant. I'm a servitude. I'm an indentured servant.
I feel like a slave.
Not a slave, but an indentured servant. There's a difference.
Where does Diddums come from?
I don't know.
It's a very proper British type of sound.
It has to have come from something they saw on YouTube or television because you just don't come up with that name, Diddums. So funny, man. We was talking about the way people take up for you or people remember stuff you don't remember. Even going through, a neighbor always says, hey, man, remember that dude who said you need to I don't know, you need to quit. You need to quit while you were ahead, you know. But so funny. I'm dropping L off at day camp, and Eva goes to the Tot Center. L goes next door to the day camp for bigger kids. But my 2-year-old has been saying for at least 3 weeks that this kid Jeffrey has hit her with a book.
Ooh.
And so Elle has been saying, like, every car ride or every time we're talking about school, Elle and say, you know, are you going to play today, Eva? Yes, but not with Jeffrey because he hit you with a book.
Oh, no.
So Elle always says that. So, you know, just randomly, school will come up and taking them to school and dropping them off, and taking them to school and dropping them off, taking them to school and dropping them off. And how was school? School was great. Eva, how was school? Good. Did you play with Jeffrey? Because he's the one that hit her with a book. Like, you got to hear that last part every time she says this kid's name.
That's fascinating.
So today, bro, I dropped him off. This has to be almost 3 weeks later. I dropped him off. Elle gets out of the car this time when I take Eva into the Tot Center. And they take Eva's temperature, and everybody's talking to Elle. Elle, you're so big. Look how long you are. Oh, my God, you're so pretty. And then all of a sudden, I see Eva go, Elle, that's Jeffrey.
Yeah, come on.
And Jeffrey comes walking up, and Jeffrey goes, he waves at him, and my Elle is looking at Jeffrey like, that's Jeffrey? She did the face, bro.
That's a good Elle.
Almost turned into the little Hulk.
Everything's just tight.
Just tight. That's Jeffrey? And I looked at Elle like, oh, Jeffrey, get your ass out of here, bro. They about to jump you. Like, they was literally looking at this kid like, there he is. After all this time, it was the first time Elle's gotten a chance to see him. And her reaction was, that's the kid that hit my sister with a
that
book.
camaraderie is great.
Oh, my goodness. So
Jeffrey shouldn't be throwing books, though. That's too, like, something too
yeah.
bad.
You know what?
Not good.
And I never, there have been things that I have tested my daughter out because she likes to go tell. So there are some things that I'll do just to see if she's going to go tell. And sure enough.
Just to find where it is.
Just to see. And I want to know how accurate she is when she tells. So this is just to gauge.
This is some mastermind stuff.
Yes. Right, so
it's a sociology experiment. So where's the...
So, man, sometimes I act just as two as they are. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? As she is.
That's hilarious.
And she had stopped in front of me, and I couldn't resist. She bent over because her shoestring was out, and she just noticed it. She doesn't know how to tie her shoe, so she's basically just pulling the string, but she's bent over. And I kind of bumped her from behind because there was a stuffed animal in front of her, and she went basically rolling into the damn stuffed animal.
Yeah.
She gets back up and she looks at me like, and she doesn't even say anything. She just starts looking and starts walking to find my wife. So I kind of walk with her. She's still looking back at me and she doesn't say anything, but she's looking for Idris. And then when she finds her, she goes, Daddy just bumped me and I went rolling. I hit my head. It's bleeding. I said, wait a minute.
That's incredible.
That is not true. She is not bleeding.
It's partially true.
I said there. All I could say was she's not bleeding.
Oh,
and
my
of course,
God.
Idris looked at me like, what's wrong with you? Why do you antagonize her? Why do you do that? I'm like, here we go.
But for her to go, and I'm telling, and I'm going to watch you all the way to me telling.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
hilarious.
go nowhere.
I'm telling.
As a matter of fact, she's like, come with me. You can come.
You're in trouble
You're
now.
in trouble. You are in trouble. Yes, man. Father to be, bro. Get ready, man. Father to be.
I heard girls take special advantage of dads. You know? Daddy's girl, you know?
This is what Elle does.
Oh, dude. And they think it works.
And they think it works.
Well, maybe it is working.
It does work because you want them to stop. It's not working because it's sweet. You're just saying, please get it out of my face. Here, take it. Take it. Play with the kitchen knife. Go. Just play with it. Stick it in an outlet if you want to. I don't care. Just go. You're going to listen to me next time, though. Watch when something bad go wrong.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Bro, this is totally. We were talking earlier because if you're listening to this podcast, no matter when you're listening to it, this is the day after the big New York battle between the OG, triple OG hip hop icons, the Locks and the Diplomats. Dipset went against each other in Madison Square Garden for a versus battle.
I'm embarrassed. I had no idea.
You know what? It was just one of those things that you scroll Instagram and all of a sudden you see a post where you see somebody talking about Dipset.
Right.
And
Versus is like a legitimate franchise.
my
That's
God.
what entertained us during the great year of
Versus and D Nice came up. And so yeah. And so now this is a huge event. And it's a huge event. And yeah, it was great. It was epic. It was classic New York. It was everything New York City wanted. It was New York City.
Yeah.
At 1,000%. And this guy Jadakiss he floated above the rest. There are some rappers who just like, oh, he's a dope rapper. He's a dope. But this dude freestyling and his own hit records.
That's
and
brilliance.
His segues in between each song, and more importantly, his comedy. I wanted to type in the comments because there's a gazillion people watching. And all the comments are going on. And I wanted to say, if Jadakiss picked up a mic to go do stand-up comedy, game over. I said game over. Because he was, his callbacks every time.
That's part of performing.
Every time Dipset did a song, Cameron did a song, and after the song, they would go. And then after they would go, he would say, "What are we doing?" And the way he said it, like, why are we even here? This ain't even fair.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What are we doing? So after every time he murdered his time to perform, when as soon as it was over, he was like, come on, I could be watching the Honeymooners. I could be at home right now. What are we doing?
That's part of the show.
It's part of the show, bro. We were dying.
He's so talented. I'm embarrassed that I discovered or listened to Jadakiss. I listened to him too late.
Yeah.
I wish I discovered him sooner.
Yeah, and on top of that, to be honest, when I heard everybody in the crowd saying line for line every Cameron song, every Jim Jones song, Jules Santana song, Styles P, Jadakiss, they knew it word for word, like I know some Outkast records. So it hit me. They're not going to know the whole Outkast album up there. They're just not. I'm going to know track 7 and track 11.
Yeah.
Not just track 1.
Right.
And so
True fan.
It hit me that they grew up on, these guys are icons and it's New York. So it's like, yo, bro, like we dictate this shit, what's hot and what's not. We still New York. And it just made, and the way they do shit is totally different from the way the South do shit. It's totally different from the way LA does shit.
Yeah.
That looked like New York. And
and you spent time in New York too. See, I don't have a reference to living there. It must have felt cool to be a part of that New Yorkness at some point.
Bro, so my SNL experience was nothing like New York. It was nothing like that culture, that side of New York.
Oh, wow.
Nigga, I live near Times Square. I was not.
That's crazy.
I was not in Harlem, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens. Yeah. I wasn't. They had some good weed in Washington Heights up there in there. Harlem.
Shout out to
Washington Heights, Dominicans. Yo, Poppy.
But New York has like such a culture about it.
Oh my God.
To see them up there representing that like myth of New York, that great.
Yeah, and it was peaceful. It was rowdy. It got testy, and it just turned back into a black celebration. And
it's a fantastic franchise versus.
Oh my God!
It's such a beautiful black institution,
and it's easy. It's easy. It's a no-brainer.
Yes,
of course we want to see Babyface versus Teddy Riley. And
right.
then when you actually see it, you be like, "Oh, I'm about to clown Teddy Riley."
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to clown baby. And then but it my favorite one was Beanie Man versus.
See, I also didn't see that.
You didn't?
I didn't see that.
Goodness, shit was Jamaica. Oh my goodness! I bet you that whole island shut down.
Siesta.
Hey, bro, and then I had another favorite one, which was
which one? I remember watching the Gucci one.
I liked Gucci. There was moments in there that was just like,
yes.
Oh,
yes.
I'm so glad I'm here safe in my house.
There were moments we were like, wait, is this training day?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Call 911 and get ready to hit the other one.
That was a near disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gucci performed the song.
Right. I think it's great that people pivot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about our podcast, bro, and I'm like, you know what? we talk about this just ain't no slapstick type of.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe I'm just not that guy.
I mean,
hey man, let's go.
yeah.
Because the whole thing about partying and the whole thing about having a dope conversation is just that the conversation is dope because you think we hitting on some points that people be like,
right.
Yeah, that's
That'll
true.
be resonant. Yeah.
And so here we are bringing it full circle, almost in like minute 27. That is so important to pivot because we started this podcast talking to my neighbor. What up, Joe Brown? And Joe Brown was born on the same day as me. We played sports. We went to different high schools. We were very athletic. Joe was always down with the 5-finger discount. And so was I in different areas. We were these kids who were like, how can we hustle? How can we get it? And how can we not go to jail? In addition to that, I was making honor roll and my mom was strict. So I don't know why I was trying to find ways to be both kids, be the good angel kid and the devious hustling kid, anyway. But I'm glad I did turn out like that. But we talked about pivoting because Joe started out detailing cars. He went from taking cars and stealing cars to detailing cars. But that pivoted into pressure washing, and that pivoted into like being able to, he knows everything about solutions, how to clean a rug, how to take a certain spot out of anything. Like he's really studied the game.
Yeah.
Has his own trucks, has his own rigs on the back of the trucks, and now getting employees, and now getting so many corporate accounts like the Ritz-Carlton. He's like, hey, man, like when I go to the crib, back to the swaps to detail your mama car, I just do it because I love you, man.
Wow.
And I'm like, I love you back, bro. You know what I mean? And the only reason I make that long-ass story is because we pivot. Rihanna, she pivoted. And she going to go back to music if she wants to. But 1.7 billion?
That's such a huge number. Such a large
Kanye
number.
West, you pivot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all do. That's what you're supposed to do. Get so good at what you do that it's time to do something else without just totally forgetting what made you great. We want you to rate, review, subscribe. This is Understand This, the podcast. Let me tell you something. You want laughs? We got that. You want some dope info? We got that. You want to be up on current events? We got that. You know what we don't got? COVID. Wear your mask. Go get vaxxed.
Get vaxxed.
Rate, review, subscribe. We on all platforms. This is episode 15,998. Happy birthday to Cornell West over there. We out.